I said I've been living the security of secret police state in Canada since 1999 when the first wiretaps went onto my phones. Now, with respect to C-51, basically it does 5 things. 1, it takes all your private information and shares it with all government agencies, including foreign governments. And for some Canadian citizens, that becomes an eventuality of torture and or death when they're traveling abroad. Secondly, it restricts arbitrarily who can travel. Thirdly, it makes freedom of expression and political criticism with respect to, quote, terrorism and the government's role a terrorist offense in itself. So words and thoughts become an act of terrorism under this bill. It allows CSIS to disrupt covertly constitutionally protected rights of association, expression, and protest. And lastly, it does all of this by taking away all and any transparent judicial oversight. What this legislation creates, and make no mistake about it, is a modern-day Gestapo. No exaggeration, that's what it creates. And if it's passed, it's created it. It chills, censors, and criminalizes free speech, free association, and constitutional rights of assembly. This legislation is not new. German and Italian versions were passed in the 1930s in Europe. And they look very much like C-51. Very hard to distinguish them. I'm not politically partisan, but I'll say 2 things. That any MP who voted for this bill should not get any Canadian citizen's vote. Any candidate who's running for a party who voted for this bill should not get a Canadian citizen's vote. This is quite clearly a fascist and dictatorial piece of legislation, and appeasement of it is unacceptable. We at the Constitutional Rights Center will challenge the constitutionality of this bill and encourage other organizations to do the same. You'll note that I rudely did not thank you for being here today. I'm not going to thank you. It's your duty to be here, to take charge of your constitutional rights as it's mine to come out and speak if invited. All right? Everybody should be at this type of event. So as Josephine said, be on the lookout. Do not live in fear. We've entered into the final fascist state, which started with the Chrétien government and has now come full mile. Thank you.
Here, here.